Hello, my name is Dr. Constant, and I'll be presenting to you today tutoring versus mentoring. This training will entail looking at the ways in which tutoring is defined versus mentoring. And then at the end, we'll conclude with the summary of how there may be some overlap between the two entities and the major differences between the two. For today's training, the topics that will be covered include what is tutoring? We'll also review some examples of tutoring. We'll talk about the benefits of tutoring. And then we will look at mentorship. We'll look at examples of mentorship, benefits of mentorship, and end with a summary. So what is tutoring? Research defines tutoring as an additional academic or skills development support from a more experienced person. Support can be provided by a student's classroom teacher, school staff, professional tutor, or even a peer. In this case, you will be considered a professional tutor. Tutors also help students to understand their own learning process. And effective tutoring involves establishment of rapport, communication, and building a trusting relationship between the tutor and the student. Examples of tutoring include one-on-one sessions. In these types of sessions, it allows for the most personalization when it applies to content focus and learning strategies. The student is the sole focus and supports the student with exactly what is needed in the way that works best for the student. Most impactful form of tutoring. As an ACES tutor, ideally you will be engaged in these one-on-one sessions. As stated, this is the most impactful form of tutoring in the ways that you can only solely focus on the student in which you're working with and personalize the instruction to fit that student's needs. Other forms of tutoring involve small group. This is 2 to 5 students to one tutor. Allows learning to occur from peers and multiple students in a single session at times can be challenging. In this scenario, there's one tutor to multiple students. While you may not be able to personalize instruction across the board, you are able to reach more students within a single session. Other examples include learning centers, in-person, and online. As reported from the National Student Support Accelerator, high quality tutoring involves equity, safety, cohesion, and the actual tutor, learning integration, data use, and instruction. Per the model, we're able to see that as the tutor is a major part of the student growth, so are these other areas of the learning integration, data use, and instruction. In other words, tutors will integrate certain learning strategies and processes. They will use student data based on performance and behavior to inform the learning integration, and that will also inform the instructional practices that will be used for that student growth, all while paying attention to equity, safety, and cohesion. So what are the benefits of tutoring? One of the benefits is individual attention, one-on-one. In one-on-one sessions, it is the tutor and the student learner. Again, this is the most idyllic tutoring model because it's the most impactful and the student can receive personalized instruction based on this one-on-one model. Other benefits of tutoring: the environments are typically more relaxed, comfortable, and it encourages a positive learning environment for students. You also, as a student learner, are able to receive feedback for learning, and not just feedback, but frequent feedback. Uh, Other benefits include improvement of understanding, so not just receiving answers. It also improves academic performance, retention, and personal growth, improves self-esteem, and helps students become an independent learner. As we can see, the benefits of tutoring also overlap with the foundations of SEL. So not only are we giving our expertise instruction on certain areas of content, but we're also helping to improve students' self-esteem, helping them become self-regulated as an independent learner, and also encouraging their own personal growth. So now that we've talked about tutoring, what it is, the benefits thereof, and the examples of tutoring, now we're going to spend some of our time on looking at mentorship. So what is mentorship? Mentorship is a patronage, influence, guidance, or direction given by a mentor. A mentor is someone who teaches or gives help and advice to a less experienced and often younger person. In an organizational setting, a mentor influences the personal and professional growth of a mentee. In an educational setting, a mentor may provide instruction, inspiration, emotional support, and role model while also sharing knowledge about his or her academic and or career path. Mentorship focuses on building confidence, relationships, developing resilience, and character. Some mentorship models or examples of mentorship include one-on-one mentoring, group mentoring, peer mentoring, distance or e-mentoring, reverse mentoring, and speed mentoring. For the purposes of this ACES Institute training, we will mainly focus on one-on-one mentoring models because, as with the tutoring models, this is the most impactful way in which a mentor and mentee can communicate, engage, and the mentor can apply individualized advice and instruction to their mentee. So there are a number of benefits of mentorship. On this slide, we highlight the benefits for mentees and the benefits for mentors. So the benefits for mentees or the student learner include increased high school graduation rates, higher college enrollment rates and higher educational aspirations, enhanced self-esteem and self-confidence, stronger relationships with parents, teachers, and peers, improved interpersonal skills, and decreased likelihood of initiating drug and alcohol use. Benefits for mentors. So this is the adult or the young adult who is working with the younger person. These benefits include for the mentor increased self-esteem, a sense of accomplishment, creation of networks of volunteers, insight into childhood, adolescence, and young adulthood, and increased patience and improved supervisory skills. So as you can see from this slide, there are positive benefits of having a mentorship relationship with your student learner or your mentee as provided by this slide. So in summary, based on the information provided in this training, We can glean that tutoring mainly focuses on the one-on-one interaction between the tutor and the student learner as it is applied to learning processes and strategies in certain content areas in which the student is seeking help. The main takeaway from tutoring is that it focuses on the instruction and the learning of the content versus mentorship, which really focuses on the positive development of characteristics, self confidence, and self esteem of the student. These areas of attention and mentorship may or may not include actual instruction in certain specific content areas. So it is very possible to serve as a tutor and not serve as a mentor, and vice versa. You can be a mentor and not necessarily serve as a tutor. In your role with the ACES Institute, you may find that there is overlap between the two entities. And as a tutor, you may have to involve yourself with some of the characteristics of mentorship in order to have optimal outcomes with your student learner. This may include motivating, encouraging, finding stories or experiences to share of your own that help the student feel more comfortable in their learning environment, and also serving as a role model. So, again, in summary, while tutoring is slightly different from mentorship, and mentorship is slightly different from tutoring, there is some overlap. And as a tutor with the ACES Institute, you may have to engage in some of the practices from both of these areas in order to have the most positive outcomes from your student learner.